Hey everybody, it's Mergle, and as I said, I'd love to cover each piece of information in more depth on this, and we'll be speaking about island expeditions this time, which I think they sound really fun, to be honest. So anyways, what are these about? Well, it's a 3-player scenario, which it doesn't matter what you queue up as, so you can have 3 DPS in the group, you may have 3 healers in the group, or you might have 3 tanks. It's going to be able to be built around any group being able to complete it, which sounds strange to me. I suppose the game will take into account the type of group setup and readjust itself accordingly, because they are randomly generated. So, anyways, that means you're going to have very short queue times, so you don't have to worry about being a DPS and waiting like 30 minutes to get into a group. You're going to be able to queue up and probably get in within 5 minutes or so. And what do you even get from these scenarios, though? Well, first off, you're going to get Azurite, your new artifact power for your neck, and it's for you and your faction, it says. So I imagine it's some kind of group mechanic, so when you get Azurite, it helps your faction as well. They made it seem like these would also give you other resources to obtain, but it's kind of hard to say with their wording. I'm going to guess it's just resources that help you complete the scenario. Now, you will be able to queue for these on 4 different settings. You got normal, heroic, mythic, or PvP setting. And as it sounds, each difficulty is of course scaling. And then the PvP difficulty allows you to do a 3 vs 3 with the Horde as the opposing team or the Alliance as the opposing team, depending on your faction, rather than facing off against AI. You may think, of course, the PvP setting would be the hardest, but Blizzard made it sound like they have drastically increased the AI intelligence, and the AI intelligence scales with the difficulty you decide to choose. So they use Sneaky Pete as an example. He's an undead rogue, and in normal difficulty, Sneaky Pete isn't that bad. He's not all that smart. I mean, he's smart, but not really. And then in mythic difficulty, Sneaky Pete really knows what up, and he will do his best to make your life as miserable as possible. So now you're curious, what do you do exactly? Well, the islands are randomly generated. Each time you decide to queue up and do it, this means that no time you decide to do this will exactly be the same. Now, of course, they have to keep certain features the same, or otherwise you won't be able to complete it. But think of maybe like Court of Stars. That's the vibe I get when I read this, or when I heard them talking about it, discussing it. Court of Stars came to mind. So each run you have different buffs that use different consumables. They have different effects. And like there's an optimal way to complete the dungeon. Each time it's different though, you know, because you might get the buff that disables all of the architect things and, you know, just all that kind of deal. So the joy is there's replayability in this, since you have many different variations, but at the end of the day they can only change so much, so I imagine a lot of it will stay similar but different at the same time. That being said, they did promise it to be quite random, and the experience should feel fun every time you're doing it, so I am really excited to see how they decide to do this. Now, as for the AI, or Sneaky Pete as Blizzard called him, they trained the AI to be quite human. It understands urgency, it understands objectives, it understands the environment, it knows what's up and what it needs to do to beat you. So their goals are the same as your goals. They know you're there to take Azurite, so are they. They're there to take Azurite. That's their plan. They know when to attack, they know who to attack, and they know what they have to steal from you. So you might be in the middle of fighting a powerful mini-boss on the island, and as you're getting low health, Sneaky Pete comes in, he blinds the healer and ganks you like any proper rogue would do. And that's intelligent AI for you. I mean, he knows not to blind the DPS. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. Or maybe he will blind the DPS and then gank the healer. You know, it's supposed to be intelligent AI. And he also can tell if he's in a bad situation. So if he's getting beat up, he's about to die, he knows, uh-oh, I'm going to blind you, I'm going to vanish, and then I'm going to run away and mount up so I can go back to my friends. Sneaky Pete, pretty smart. So they made it sound like this AI is intelligence, and each level of difficulty increases his intelligence. So normal AI isn't quite like mythic AI, of course. It's cool to think that they might sap you while you're about to collect a point of interest and then take it right under your feet. I hope they do that. I really do. That sounds a lot of fun. So I hope it is as smart as they're playing it off to be. So that's all pretty cool. We have 3 examples of islands they're going to use right now. We have an abandoned Gilnean island, Ungol Ruins, and then Havenswood. Now, I'm not stating anything, and this is really just, it popped into my mind when I heard it, and I think it would be really nice if they put Haven on Havenswood. I know you guys remember Haven. I've been hoping they would put some kind of remembrance of him in the game. Wouldn't it be neat if they decided to do that, since the island is literally called Havenswood. It's not spelled exactly the same, but I thought that would be cool if there's like some kind of Easter egg. But you don't really know, and that's just, it came to my mind when I heard that. So anyways, those are the islands, and this is a very cool concept. I like the idea that at least you have a different feeling no matter how much time you queue up. So it'll be fun to see how it actually makes it into the game, if it does give you that feeling, if it really is as good as they're claiming it to be. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are about this down below. Thank you for watching as always, and I will be seeing you again real soon. Bye-bye.